And we can't talk about snow without talking about freezing temperatures. Much of the East will need a winter coat. This week, as the folks head outside for the morning hours, evening hours, temperatures will be 15 to 20 degrees below average, not to mention the gusty winds. That feels like temperature, a whole lot colder. Boston, 55 degrees right now, and you've got some...
That's balmy compared to where we're going.
Yeah, no kidding. You just had some rain come through. It's a whole different feel. You just head just off to the west a little bit more, and it's a whole different story.
I feel like I've been prepping for this all weekend. I literally wore my winter coat on our walks. It was 60 degrees, but it's like my body just knows that it's coming, and this is the reality. We're going to feel it later tonight. So we have freeze warnings that are out for New York City. It extends all the way through, a lot of the suburbs of New York, all the way out towards Long Island and also the north-facing shores of the Long Island Sound there in Connecticut. So just looking at New York itself, how odd is this to get our first freeze? Well, our average low this time of year is 44. New York City's going for 33 tonight. We could hit that 32-degree mark. And that's why we have the freeze warning. Freeze warnings are only issued for that first freeze, but sometimes it does kind of mark the end of growing season. And this cold air is just spilling in from up north. So it's not, unheard of to have cold batches of air this time of year. But it definitely is a change of pace compared to where we have been.
And with this kind of swing, oftentimes you get that jet to kind of do a little bit of a buckle. So it's not long-lived, if you will.
No,
which
the fall
is good
is
news.
all about dramatic
especially
changes.
November, right?
Yes.
Especially November. It's got like 3 days cold, 3 days mild, 3 days cold. And there you can see the mild air come Wednesday.
Mild, not warm.
Yeah.
I think that's important to point out.
Exactly, because it's all relative. If you go warm, you're like, are you sure, Herrera?
Yeah, and we've had a series of clippers, which kind of puts us on the cool side anyways. This is the coldest air that we've felt since springtime. So March and April temperatures here
tomorrow morning
for Pittsburgh and New York. So later tonight, a good idea just to do a little bit of prep. If you have your hoses still attached to your outside faucets, it might not be a bad idea just to take the hose off, just to do a little bit of prep work. But looking at some stats here, this is interesting. I mean, so far in D.C., the coldest temperature we felt so far is 38 degrees. So we haven't had that first freeze, and the average first freeze is November 20th. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule for D.C. For Tampa, we're looking at 38. They haven't gotten below the mid-50s. This is going to feel really cold for Tampa.
I'm telling you, all of the South is going to feel it. You talk about Tampa, the Florida Panhandle, you're talking temperatures into the 30s, and that's going to be a chill for the South. How about Atlanta, Dallas, Nashville, Tallahassee, not immune to this cold weather at all? Take a look at the board. You've got all kinds of freeze watches in place right close to I-10, and then just over a good chunk of the Southeast into even portions of the southern plains, you've got these freeze warnings. Now, the freeze warnings pick up again at 7 p.m., go through early tomorrow morning, where the temperatures will drop below freezing for several hours. Having said that, it is good to take precautions with the pipes, right? Make sure you drain the outdoor pipes, make sure you cover things up. And it's only going to be short-lived, but it's a good precaution just so that you don't have a problem with the pipes. The average first freeze, when you look at this, when you talk about a place like the southern portions of Texas into Florida, it doesn't happen until well after December, but portions across the Southeast that we're looking at right now, you're kind of right on time. And we haven't had them for this section of the country yet, those first freeze.
These are spots that are used to having to prep for winter. We're just doing it a little bit earlier for a few of you. So, taking a look at where we usually stack up this time of year, the closer you get to the I-70 corridor, it's pretty typical. I mean, we should be talking about freezing temperatures at this point. But when you take a look at Florida, yeah, it's a little ahead of schedule. Anywhere down south, when you're talking about temperatures in the 20s for more than a couple hours, that can lead to pipes bursting when things start to thaw out. I don't think we'll have widespread problems, but it's a good idea to have an abundance of caution, because if you don't, the cleanup is a huge headache. All you have to do is drip the faucets, open up your cabinet doors. It's very simple prep, but it's something that could be on your side. When we're looking at those afternoon highs, we're going to struggle to get out of the 40s for parts of Georgia. Yeah,
look at Atlanta, by the way, with that 40 degree, that would be potentially a record cold high. Other spots on the map here, only 30s and 40s. Mobile, Alabama, the exception at 52, but that is cold for you for this time of year, of course. But Atlanta really sticks out. 40 degrees, ouch. That's going to be a record cold high if we get to that point today.
Yeah, so let's keep it down south, shall we? Especially because we have some prep time. I mean, we have all of today to get our act together before this freeze later tonight.
Yeah, you get up to 40 today, then we drop to the 20s tonight through early tomorrow morning. Here's what you're talking about. The deep south needed to take precautions, cover any sensitive vegetation. Cold record lows tomorrow. You can see those all across the south and southeast. And not only there, but look down into Florida, down to the Keys as well. While it's mild for them, relatively speaking, it is still cold. You will see these over portions of Georgia as well.